I, 33F, found out my now ex, 34M, has been cheating. Now I'm not allowing him to be in the delivery room when I give birth. I, 33F, am now 8 months pregnant. I found out that my now ex-boyfriend, 34M, has been seeing a woman who he swore there was nothing going on with, but I found out otherwise. Needless to say, I'm very hurt by this. He has been seeing before and during my entire pregnancy behind my back and straight up lying to me about it, even going as far as lying about hanging with friends to go to her place. When I found this out, he said he was breaking it off and that he was in the process of ending things with her and asked for time. I refused and told him I was removing myself from the love triangle I never asked to be in. After long drawn-out talks about this, he admitted that she was not happy about my pregnancy and was even talking about being at the hospital because she doesn't want him to share that intimate moment with me. Apparently they've talked about my pregnancy extensively and how she feels about it. He tells me that he shut this down, but I am feeling very uneasy about this. Obviously me exiting the picture means he's going to be with her, and I do not want her anywhere near me or my child or her accompanying him to the hospital while I'm giving birth, which I feel he would allow because he values her feelings when it comes to our child based on what he told me. I told him based on this energy and her feelings so strongly that she'd come to the hospital while I'm giving birth just to interfere or monitor him has me on high alert, and that I no longer wanted him there during my labor and delivery. He swears that he told her do not do this, and that he told her no. But I feel like even if she isn't physically there, she's going to interfere regardless through her texting and calling and distracting him during labor. I also don't want him giving any information about my labor, delivery, complications, or any information or pictures of my baby. He is not happy about this decision, but I am feeling very firm about this because this woman seems unpredictable and has a negative view about my pregnancy and baby to the point she's come in between him helping me prepare for our child, and he admitted they've talked about the paternity of my child possibly not being his, which is far from the truth. I do not want him there bringing in negative energy into that sacred space. He didn't care about the baby all this time, even questioned paternity, and now is upset he can't participate in the birth? Why does it matter now? Should I continue with my decision despite his desire to be there knowing all that I know now? Tell your labor and delivery nurses about this. They are super protective of their mamas. They will only allow who you say can come in and keep the rest away. Former RN. OMG, he is treating you like the side piece, like he is cheating on her. I wouldn't let him be there, and I would be collecting these insane things she's saying as evidence for custody, as I wouldn't want her anywhere near my child. I, 27F, think my husband, 26M, is becoming a homophobe. Everything I do, he says I can't do around our son, 5 years old, because I will make him gay. I've heard a few remarks over the last 3 years, but tonight has gone too far. First time he started telling me I'm going to make our son gay was when I let my son draw my makeup on my face, because he was watching me put it on and kept asking if he could do it too. He was 3, almost 4. I took out some cheap palettes and let him mark up my face. I didn't teach him where anything goes. He got bored fairly quickly and laughed at how funny mom looks. Second time was when I brought back some childhood toys from home and my son was playing with my Little Ponies. He was just making them walk around and driving them in his cars. He also liked sticking them on the fridge. He said I need to keep them away from him because he doesn't want me influencing him. That was a year ago. Third time was tonight. I was showing him a house renovation that Trixie Mattel, drag queen, and her husband did. I watched all of the episodes at work, background noise, but wanted to show my husband the house reveal because there were aspects I thought he would love. I said, gay men seriously know how to make a beautiful house. This work is stunning. There is a room I think you would love. It's a music room/bar. He said, you know they don't know how to renovate. I don't think I would love anything from this. And he laughed. I was honestly disgusted. And I said, what, because they're gay? When did you start having a grudge against gay people? He said, I hung out with them so much, the way they talk is so unnatural, and I don't like hearing it anymore. He then noticed our son was looking at the TV and was like, no, you don't need to be looking at this. He doesn't need to see this. And that's when I got really mad. Yes, it was Trixie on TV walking around showing her house with her husband. Her drag was in no way provocative or inappropriate. Literally, they were doing a house tour. No men kissing. Just a house. I said, no, I'm not doing this. When did you become so homophobic? There is nothing wrong on the TV. And he said, well, you watch this all the time. And I said, no, I don't ever watch this stuff. You always say negative stuff about anything I do that's girly. That's not how becoming gay works, him seeing a house tour. I just learned who Trixie, I knew who she was but not who she was yesterday. Literally from watching house remodels on TikTok. So as of yesterday, I watched one drag queen's house reveal, and now our son is doomed. Is he being overbearing and controlling, or am I really being inappropriate around my son? I'm starting to feel like he's just being controlling. Like every time I do something, he always has something negative to say. Makes me want to pack up all of my sparkle to just make him shut up. Your husband isn't becoming a homophobe. He already is one. He's not becoming a homophobe. He's already fully bigoted. Also, David wasn't Trixie's husband. They weren't married. They also split up back in 2024. Hey, has your husband gotten a job yet? Just wondering, since working to support one's family is often considered a traditionally masculine activity. My 34F husband, 35M, now says he doesn't want a baby, even though he agreed years ago. My husband, 35M, and I, 34F, met 5 years ago and have been married for 4. Early on, I was very honest that I wanted a child someday. I made a point of saying this because he already has a daughter from a previous relationship, and I knew that could change how someone feels about having more kids. I told him that if this wasn't something he wanted, we shouldn't continue. He said he understood and agreed. Now I finally feel ready. Emotionally, mentally, all of it. When I brought it up, he told me he doesn't want a baby. He says he barely has the energy for his 10-year-old daughter as it is. He works a lot and worries that if we had a baby, I would end up resenting him for not being around enough. He's also afraid my attention would be split and that our relationship would suffer. I understand his fears, but I still feel crushed. It feels like the future I thought we were working toward just vanished. I wouldn't have married him if I had known this would be the outcome. I love my husband, but I'm grieving something that feels deeply important to me. I feel lost and heartbroken, and I don't know what to do next. What are your thoughts on this matter? You're going to resent him for the rest of your life if you stay. This is a major deal breaker. You deserve to have the life you imagined. He's not the right partner for you. He strung you along. This is a deal breaker. I hope you walk away and live the life you want to. People change. He either lied and hoped you'd change his mind, or he slowly realized he didn't want any more kids. He made his decision, your turn. Either it's a deal breaker or not. At this point, you two aren't compatible. I 25F feel like my partner 32M only likes me when I'm easy to deal with. How do I ask for consistent emotional support without him shutting down? We've been together 3 years, living together for 1. The relationship is mostly calm, no big blow-ups, no cheating, no obvious deal breakers. But I'm starting to feel lonely inside it. My boyfriend is affectionate and fun when life is light. If I'm happy, productive, down for anything, he's great. The problem is the moment I'm stressed, sad, or even just quiet, he turns distant and kind of irritated. Not in a cruel way, more like he checks out. If I bring up a concern, he says I'm overthinking or making problems. If I cry, he gets stiff and says he doesn't know what to do with that. If I ask for reassurance, he acts like it's a chore. I've tried being direct and specific. Like, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to sit with me for 10 minutes. Sometimes he does, but he looks like he's waiting for it to be over. Then later he wants things to go back to normal like nothing happened. I feel like I'm training myself to hide my feelings so I can keep the peace, and that scares me. I don't want to become a version of myself that's always smiling just to be lovable. I also worry I'm being unfair because he had a rough childhood and he avoids emotions. But at the same time, I'm not asking for therapy-level support, just basic partnership when I'm not at my best. What are specific phrases that tends to work with someone who gets defensive or shuts down around emotions? What boundaries can I set in the moment that would push things toward change? Maybe just find someone who actually cares about you, for whom you being alright is the most important thing. Not some dude that likes younger girl door sex. He avoids emotions. Not boyfriend material. You're not asking for too much, you're asking for consistency, not perfection.